I don't want to film this.
Hello. It's been a while. I don't think I'll ever do quarterly again because despite it giving me enough procrastination to not have to do a video once a month, the videos end up being really long because I talk so much. But you know what? It's the end of the year and we're gonna go out strong and I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna be done with it because I can't just, I have too much anxiety with starting the new year and then being like, you never did the fourth wrap up, did you? Like, I don't. Let me just preface this by saying whatever Storygraph says I'm currently reading or that I have on pause, don't worry about that. Don't look at that, okay? That's none of your business. That's not what we're focused on right now. Right now we're focused on everything that I read prior, okay? Okay? Thank you. I look like a bum. I'm so mentally exhausted. But guess what? I have all of my planners. I keep seeing posts that are like, don't buy that planner. I'm like, well, let me try a daily planner first before you crucify me, please. I also got a traveler's journal. And I have my 2 new journals for 2026. I have this and I have this, which is just so pretty. It's so stunning. So, yeah. My journals are ready. I personally am not, but you know what? Let's hope this year will be better than the last, right? 2025 was actually a pretty good year for me. Not necessarily worried about reading wise, but just like the beginning of the beginning half of 2025, pretty good, pretty fun. The back half, let's not worry about that. Anyway, reading wrap up. 4th quarter. October, November, December, let's do this. In October, I read 16 books, allegedly. In November, I read 4 books, allegedly. And in December, I read nothing. So let's speed run through October. Let's start with the goodies of October. I read Briarcliff Prep by Brianna Peppins. We follow a 14-year-old girl named Avi, who her and her siblings all go to this historically black boarding school. I've had this book on my shelf for the longest time and I never picked it up, but I finally read it and I was pleasantly surprised. We're truly following Avi navigating relationship dynamics, new friend dynamics, family dynamics, especially because her older sister, this girl that she looks up to essentially, is experiencing domestic violence at the hands of her boyfriend that is like a star at the school. Like classic like principal's son, most popular guy in school energy, and he is incredibly violent and abusive towards Avi's older sister, and Avi doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to help. She's never had to navigate a situation like this before. All these new experiences are happening to her at one time. It's a lot of pressure on a 14-year-old girl to know that even if it was your friend or someone you knew, your sibling, anybody that you knew closely that is going through something like that, and you don't know how to help them without overstepping, being overbearing, and them hating you afterwards, you know, it's hard. We're following her through like a first love of her life. While I was reading it, I really did feel for Avi in a sense, like it feels like you can't do anything right and you're just that sibling out of your family. Despite me being an only child, it's like that's like a type of feeling that I hate, just like this feeling of like you're essentially useless, you can't do anything right, like that, and it gives me so much anxiety. So reading This Is Avi, I was like, oh god, I'm internalizing a lot of this. It was a great young adult read, honestly. And apparently there was a sequel called Briarcliff Prep Sophomore Year that was released in 2024. I did not know this. I didn't know anything about this, but now I want to low-key read it. I hope it follows her getting back with her boyfriend because they did have a very like bad falling out due to Avi's dealings and with her anxiety, and she did lash out in a way that he did not appreciate, and I really hope they get to reconcile the relationship because that was one of the highlights of the book for me, was how the love story was going and how she had this such like lover boy in her life that just wanted to be there for her, but then again, like she didn't know how to navigate that. It's like your first love. She didn't know how to. She's learning. Anyway, what's next? Oh, I read The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, family dynamics across generations with magic and generational trauma. It was not what I expected at all for some reason. Like, I didn't know anything about this book other than like it's a darling and everybody loves it. Everybody loves this author. I enjoyed myself. I had a great time. Like, yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a good book. Magical realism isn't necessarily my thing unless I'm like watching it. So reading it is always a little bit of a trip, especially when it's like magic that takes place in a urban, or not even urban, just like our world setting. Always trips me up a little bit, just a little bit. Next, I read Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Maldovsky. I loved this book for some reason. I read it around the same time that 5 Seconds of Summer had released a song called Boy Band, which would just so happen to be the same day that Liam Payne passed away. You know Liam Payne? We all know Liam Payne. It's the 1-year anniversary that he passes away. 5 Seconds of Summer, who went on tour with One Direction early in their career, released a song called Boy Band, which is talking about the stress, the pressure, the dehumanization of being that type of figure, this level of idolization that is nonsensical, that is addictive. And I was reading Kill the Boy Band at the same time. What a coinky dink. Kill the Boy Band, we follow these 4 girls who stalk their favorite boy band all the time. That's their hobby, is just stalking their favorite boy band. They're crazy, thinking that one of the members is in love with them, another one is a blogger, another one is a friend of another girl that like can pinpoint their exact locations all the time. Like all these girls found each other and all they do is just stalk this boy band. So they were like, oh, they're going to be at this concert that we don't have tickets to. Let's go to their hotel and just stay there and maybe we'll see one. And they do. One of them tackles one of her favorite members that she is heavily attracted to and knocks him unconscious. And then they bring him back to the hotel room and tie him up. And it's kind of like, yeah, now we're committing a crime. And we just keep going. And in no way do they sit there and stop committing this crime. Even though our main character is like, guys, we should just let him go. Like, he said he was just going to let it go. He said he'll give us a concert. Let's just let him go. And the other ones are like, no. And it end up being this, like, revenge story, essentially. We're just going to go straight into spoiler alert territory. One of the girls has been plotting this for a minute. Because when she was young, mind you, these are all teenagers, but one time she went alone and stalked one of these boy band members, parading as a groupie, and did hook up with one of these members. But then one of these members participated in what it was essentially revenge porn, like took photos of her naked, posted it to Snapchat or something. It got deleted within an hour. Or like, but the other members did see her like nude and vulnerable, and that was traumatic enough for her that now she's like, I want to ruin his life. Another of the girls, she is a first-hand blogger. She's the one that everybody goes to. She always has first-hand accounts of whatever they're going to do. She wants to boost her platform and her popularity. So she has a plan. She's in on this plan to also ruin their lives, to just boost her own personality. And then we have the addictive girl, and then we have the friend who we're following. And the main character, she doesn't really understand the gravity of the situation or what's going on. She does know what they're doing is wrong, and she does want it to stop, but she cannot convince the other girls to stop. They're bickering, they're arguing. She leaves for a bit, she comes back. The guy's dead. He's dead on the bed. So now they have a dead body. The other band members are looking for him. They've posted from his social media that he's quit the band without telling anybody. Like, they're ruining his life and he's dead. It is a mess. It all gets messy and worse from there. Like, I can't even, it's been so long. Like, I took notes while I was at work. I was walking around my job with the audiobook in my ear just going, are y'all hearing this shit? I'm talking to my coworker and he's like, why do you keep reading this weird shit? I'm like, it's been in my shelf for 10 years. I don't know what to do with it. It was a lot. And it got to the point where at the end, it felt like I couldn't tell if we had an unreliable narrator or not. Like, it was so trippy. Apparently a lot of people have heard about this book for some reason. I just don't hear about it a lot. But a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I do remember walking around Barnes & Noble and seeing that book. So it was a trip. I enjoyed myself, though. I think I'm going to keep it. This is on my longest TBR list, and I think I'm keeping that one. That one was very entertaining. What else did I read? Okay. I read this Ravenous Fate by Haley Dennings. We all know famous YouTuber Haley Dennings that came up with a vampire romantasy book, very sapphic. All right, I was like, okay. We have a vampire hunter and a vampire. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you, like, vampires aren't really my thing. So this is kind of out of my comfort zone. It does take place in like the 1920s Harlem, and I tried to read it right before the sequel came out because Sourcebooks sent me both the arcs for the OG The Travis Fake and for our. Apparently, our main character had an older sister that was killed in a vampire attack, and we have a main character who's best friend slash romantically low-key involved with a vampire. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my mind just really goes blank with this book. It really does. Yeah, it just kind of really, I don't know. I don't know what to say. My mind really goes blank with this one. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it just didn't hit for me. Maybe I just need to do a reread because it has been several months and I was like zooming through books. But with this one, like, it didn't stay with me. I listened to the whole thing on audio, so maybe that was also the case. It just didn't really stick with me. So I don't really have anything good or bad to say about it. 'Twas a book. 'Twas a book. If you want to see better reactions to it, then by all means, don't listen to me. Go listen to somebody else that's read it. Go follow Haley Dennings on YouTube and on Instagram and TikTok so she can tell you about it, but I just don't. We have a vampire. We have a reaper. We have a lot of tension between our reaper, Layla, and her family because she has never really been about that life, okay? She had an older sister that was supposed to take on the mantle for her family as they are this big reaper family in Harlem with a lot of involvement in the city and politics, and then her sister was murdered by vampires. So then they had another sibling. They had another child that would replace Layla's older sister, which is kind of like a, whoa. That's a weird transfer of power. You would think it would go to Layla, even though Layla's very much not about that life. But no, they really said, well, screw Layla. We're gonna give it to the baby. We're gonna give the title to the baby. I'm like, that's crazy. But outside of that, I have no thoughts, no words, no nothing. I have a review. I should have a review on Bindery. Okay, apparently I don't have a book review of this up, so yeah, go listen to anybody else but me, but it just didn't stick with me. It just didn't hit for me. I don't know. Let's move on. I read another book called Café con Leche by Emery Lee. We have these two little queer boys that their parents both run competing restaurants, but then a third restaurant, very gentrified restaurant, pops up out of nowhere. So they join forces to beat out this competing restaurant and save both of their family businesses. However, they do have a little bit of a rivalry. And by that, I mean one of them is a closeted soccer player who is the best player on the team. Their team fucking sucks. Their soccer team sucks. And then you have Theo, he's just a boy. He's just a boy on a soccer team. And he's bad. He's so bad. So Gabe hates Theo for being bad at soccer. And Theo's just trying to live, man. He's just trying to live. And they also have competing restaurants. And then the closer they come together and they start understanding each other more, and then they start, having feelings for each other. One thing leads to another, But it was very cute. But it truly does crack me up. I'm like, why do you hate him so much? He's just trying to exist, and you think he's doing things on purpose. He's not. He's just existing. Oh, poor Theo. But no, Cafe Con Leche was so cute. And, one character, Theo, he's Asian. The other character is Mexican. So they want to make like fusion food and sell it around town, sell it around school to help get more money to like keep their businesses open, which is such like a good idea. It was a very, very cute book. Okay. Oh my gosh. Third, I read the Primas of Power series. Why didn't y'all tell me to read the series sooner? Why? I love these books. If I were to rank them, it would be Along Came Amor, A Lot Like Adios, and Then You Had Me at Hola. But to recap, we're following these three cousins, primas, cousins. We have Jasmine, who is an actress about to be casted in a telenovela with her co-star, Ashton, who is a single father. We have Michelle, who is probably the cousin that I think is the most like me. She's so blunt and straightforward. And we have Gabriel, who is her childhood best friend, who moved away due to some family drama, familial drama. But he runs a successful gym and is trying to expand, so he has to move back home. And who could he enlist to help him with this gym rebrand? But Michelle, who's kind of like this graphic designer, like marketing deal, like she's very good at what she does, and is forced to reconnect with Michelle. However, he didn't want his family knowing that he was back in town, despite them being next door neighbors. And then somehow this spirals out of control into both families thinking that they have finally gotten together. And so it turns into fake dating with this idiot Gabriel. And then we have our third book, Along Came Amor, where we have Ava, who is recently divorced, and people cannot let it go. Oh, people won't let that shit go. Oh my God, it's so irritating the way they judge Ava for being divorced. But she meets this man named Roman, who is a very successful, like, entrepreneur who is obsessed with her. And Ava, just being the scared of love person that she is, she can't accept his love. She can't. But Roman, no. Roman's like, I'm a grown ass man. Okay, I'm putting my foot down. All right, I will love you, and you will love me. Okay, very much not with the bullshit. All right. She thinks they can have this like no strings attached relationship, and Roman's like, no, I'm very much attached. I'm very much attached. Yes, and I love that for her. Actually, I love that for her. That was my favorite book. Oh my gosh, the way Roman loves Ava, like, it really stuck out to me that he had a spreadsheet of things she likes and doesn't like. Mind you, they meet at least like once a month, once every other month to hook up. He loves talking to her, loves spending time with her, and he just so happens to be very good friends with Ashton from book 1, the actor that is with her cousin Jasmine. It's so cute. It was so cute. I love the Primos and Power series. Alexis Daria put crack in this. It was so good. We're speed running. Okay, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 novellas. I think I truly only liked 2 of them. And if any of the authors are watching this, don't. Scroll, please. If I mention your book, please scroll. I read Ready or Not by Olive Winter, which, if you don't know Olive Winter, but you do use Threads and you are in the book space, Olive Winter one day just decided to talk about how her neighbor gave her so many vanilla bean, like so much, but she didn't have the picture of the vanilla bean. So she posted just like a generic picture of vanilla bean, just to be like, hey, this is what it looks like. This is what vanilla bean is. This is what I was given. This is an example of what I was given. And God, people lost their fucking minds. They were like, you used a stock image of vanilla to sell your novella book. How fucking dare you? Oh, the way they attacked this woman. Insanity. Like, you people will use stock images for shit on a daily. But the second Olive Winter did it, oh, did Threads go into a fucking uproar. They're the worst people on the planet. It did absolve itself. Those people did apologize. But it's like, really? This is where we're putting our foot down? Our president is a fucking fascist? But you're putting your foot down on someone posting a generic picture of olives that they never claimed was the olives that they purchased, and you took time out of your day to reverse image search a picture of vanilla bean? Like, what are we? Did I say olives? I meant to say vanilla bean instead of olives. Like, don't come for me. But no, like, that was insane. Anyway, Olive Winter wrote a very good novella called Ready or Not with the most yearning I've ever seen in my life. We meet these 2 characters. This all happens in one night. We have Soline and Desi. Soline is like DJing at a rooftop party, and her ex is there, and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be seen by my ex, whatever. She goes to the bar, and then this guy named Desi rolls up to the bar, and they start chatting. They hit it off. They spend the entire night together. Like, they're really hitting it off. But Soline is so traumatized by the prior relationship that she, like, leaves after their one night stand, and then Desi spends the rest of the second day going around New York trying to find her. And it, oh my gosh, it was so adorable. Their communication with each other, the flirting, the yearning. Oh my God, you want tips on how to yearn? You read this novella. It was amazing. I can't wait for whatever Olive Winter releases next. This was so good, so well written. I loved it. Next, I read Love's a Script by Mimi Grace. And I love Mimi Grace, but I didn't really particularly fall in love with this book. We have a professional matchmaker named Mary, and we have Ruben, who thinks that this whole matchmaking business is a bunch of bullshit. He is a radio host. He is researching this matchmaking stuff and agrees to be a client for Mary. And Mary accepts the challenge of this reluctant radio host helping him find a match, sending him on all these dates. they spend more time together, they're communicating with each other, and then eventually they do develop feelings for each other. I thought it was a fine book. I don't know. It just didn't feel as like lively to me. Their chemistry is great. Like, obviously they were gonna end up together. It's a romance book. It has to have happy ending. Of course they're gonna end up together, but it didn't really like move me too much, but it was good nonetheless. Now let's get into some books that I didn't like as much. My lovely Shayla Sylvia released a book called Our Secret Promise, and I just don't think that her writing style is for me. We have this like mafia man who was once in a relationship, but because of his alcoholism, she left him, leaving with their child that I don't think he even knew that she was pregnant at the time. But she leaves him, and he's been yearning ever since. He's been pining ever. He's been upset about it ever since. And now her family is being threatened, so she moves back with him so he can protect her and their child. He's meeting his child for the first time. They're reconnecting for the first time. He's trying to do better, be better. And I really wish I could get through the writing style. I just don't think I could. And it's not to say that because this book has a lot of Spanish in it that it wasn't for me, because I read Primas in Power, and I think because it's traditionally published, the way that it's formatted and written, when we add in the Spanish elements, it really flows well with the book and the rest of the writing style and the conversation. For some reason, the writing style in this book did not flow well with me. A lot of these like shorter novellas, the writing style does not flow well with me in my brain. So I hope that it got edited again, because she did re-release it with this new gorgeous cover. And if this sounds in any way interesting to you, then for sure go support Sylvia. Go get the book. I bought mine. You should buy yours. Okay? It just didn't hit for me, and that's that. And that's okay. Next, I read these 4 novellas by Terralyn Mitchell, who I met at Black Romance Book Fest, and she was such a lovely person to meet. She has another book coming out later that is a baseball romance. When I was reading these novellas, we follow these 4 women that are on the same friend group-esque. Again, another book series where I don't know, maybe the writing style didn't hit for me. A lot of times also when most of the scenes just feel like, if I have to sit there and ask who cares while I'm reading it, then it's probably it's not good. That's not good for me to sit there. Like, there are times where I sit there and I'm reading a book and I'm sitting like, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? And I don't remember if I did that a lot during this book while reading it, or if it was just the writing style, the way it's formatted, events that happen. Maybe some things just didn't hit the same for me. Maybe I just don't like small town romances where everybody's in everybody's business. Like, I'm trying to get into the genre. The last small town romance that I read that I hated was Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Like, God forbid, like, everybody in that town irritated the fuck out of me. Like, like, these people are terrible. Or maybe it was the amount of M dashes in this book. That's your writing style. I love that for you. I will never be the type of person that sits there and says, like, M dashes? You wrote this with AI. Because some people do that. And it's like, no, M dashes can be used in a very practical way. The amount of times M dashes are used in these books, borderline unreadable for me. Like, I was getting, like, once I have pattern recognition, I get so irritated and overstimulated. I'm like, no, I'm putting it down. I can't pick this up again. So, yeah, I am so sorry. I have them. I will never get rid of them. I might try again when I'm in a better mood. Maybe I just wasn't in a good mood, because that tends to happen towards the end of the year. I start like maybe getting some type of seasonal depression where I don't want to read, which again didn't happen like 2 years ago when I read like 98 books in a year. Like, I just didn't, maybe it's a me thing, but yeah, didn't really hit for me. And lastly, the book that I read in October was Zodiac by Romina Russell. Here's the thing. Zodiac by Romina Russell is a sci-fi fantasy, but it really leans heavily into the sci-fi. And I think with my sci-fi fantasies, I need to lean more into fantasy. Like, what's a sci-fi fantasy? Like, Blood Like Fate, like Blood Like Fate, Blood Like Magic, that series by Lazelle Sambry. That is sci-fi, but it feels more so fantasy because we are dealing with a magical family, and then they coincide with like this like evil tech corporation that's like using their magic for bad things. But because there's so much magic ingrained to it, I feel like it's more magic than sci-fi to me, that the sci-fi wasn't that hard for me to comprehend. The Blood Trials was harder for me to comprehend. Like, I'm not a sci-fi person. This felt way more sci-fi than magic to me. Maybe because the setting is in space. Like, I don't know. I can watch Guardians of the Galaxy fine. But once I get to a sci-fi book, I can't do it. So I tried reading Zodiac by Ramina Russell, which has been on my shelf since I was in high school. Because it's Zodiac. I'm into Zodiac signs. I'm into learning about Zodiac. I'm into tarot. I'm into things like that. But there's a way that people do it in a very superficial stance. You know, like Cancers cry and Taurus are hungry and Capricorns are hardworking. And it's like there's so much more to it than just that. Like I can tell you my whole birth chart off the back of my hand. And every day I like to learn about how they coincide with the planets, how that affects me as a person. It's just fun to do. I'm not religious about it, but it's just like a fun hobby to have for me personally. When I read Zodiac, I'm immediately irritated because we're describing the 12 signs and they each get their own planet. Now, that's not to say that like in Zodiac, what signs coincide with the planet Mercury? Virgo and Gemini. What signs coincide with Jupiter? What signs coincide with Venus? You know, like the planets do have their own signs that they are like this with, that they're locked in with. But in this one, like we have the planet Cancer and it has its own moons, and one of the moons blew up and now 20 million people are dead. And our main character is now the new leader of her planet, essentially, at least in their government. And she keeps getting these visions about the 13th sign. Do you remember the 13th sign? I forgot what the name was, but it was stupid. And everybody completely wrote it off. They were like, no, there's actually 13 zodiac signs. And everybody was like, screw you. I'm still a Virgo. Like, you know, like they tried to throw in a 13th sign in there and nobody recognizes it. Well, this book is now choosing to make the 13th sign the villain of this book series. And our main character keeps getting sent these visions from the 13th sign and how, like, he's gonna kill everyone. And she keeps trying to tell people and they won't listen to her. So she takes one of her bodyguards and, like, this other guy who has a ship and is trying to go to each planet to warn them about the upcoming doom. And again, 20 million people on her planet have just died. Her mom went missing because she wouldn't allow her to, like, go to the regular schooling that all the other kids from all the other planets go to. Like, she didn't believe in that shit. So she stopped her kids from ever being indoctrinated like that, but then just fucked off somewhere. The dad's gone somewhere. The brother's gone somewhere. And now she's, like, basically, like, went to school by herself anyway. But she's now, again, 20 million people died. She is now the leader of the Cancer whatever. She's trying to go to these other planets to warn them of the up-and-coming doom. But half the time, she's like, my bodyguard keeps treating me like a sister. This guy who owns a ship is really nice. Like, I don't care, girl. 20 million people are dead, and you are now in charge. Like, there's, like, half urgency, half, which boy likes me? I do not care. I don't care, actually. I actually don't care. Actually, never cared. I never cared which boy liked you. The entire time, I never cared. Yeah, that's a book that I'm selling. I don't want it. I don't need it. I get it out of my house. Truly, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's good reviews on it, too. Not for me. Not for me, mamas. Not for me. No. Let's try to end this on a broader note, okay? So that was October. Those are all the books I read in October. There's like a 40-minute edit already. Oh, my God. But now let's get to November. Technically, I read 3 books in November, but for some reason, Goodreads has it at 4. Not Goodreads. Technically, I read 3 books in November. So my reading goal is 69. I'm so sorry. Storygraph has marked this as like I read one of them twice for some reason. And I don't feel like changing it. I read Fumbled with Love by Marina Hill, Uninvited by Sophie Jordan, and Son of the Morning by Quick and Mezzy. Let's fucking go. First, let's start off with the one that I hated the most. Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. I DNF'd this book so fast. So, let me set the scene. We have our main character, Devi. She has the best life. Oh my God, she's like said to be homecoming queen. She has an acceptance to Juilliard. She's exceptionally bright. She's exceptionally musically inclined. Her boyfriend just told her that she loves her. She has the best friends in the world. She comes home. Her parents now have to tell her that they found out that your genetic test came back and you have the kill gene. What is the kill gene, you might ask? Thank you for asking. The kill gene in this book is basically they test everyone in society, and if you come back with a kill gene, that means you will eventually kill in your life. You will eventually be a murderer. We can't have that. So you get ostracized from society if you have that genetic mutation. Not that you have powers that could kill. No, Everybody here is normal human beings as far as I'm concerned, unless you have a homicidal gene in your body, which they can track, by the way. They can track that. So our main character, Davy, finds out that she has this gene. It's like, oh, it couldn't be Davy. She's the most perfect person in the world. The next day, she finds out that she has this gene. The people who informed her are like, we're going to have to tell your school. You're going to be taken out of school. You can't go to college. Everything about Davy's life ends right there. Right then and there, her life is over. And everyone does a complete 180. Her parents hate her. Boyfriend who just told her he loves her doesn't anymore. Friends, bitches. And eventually down the line, because there's this homicidal tendency, because she gets taken out of school, they put her in this facility with all the other kids with the same gene. She meets this guy named Sean, who then becomes her new romantic interest. And, I wish I could tell you the rest of it, but I can't because I do not care. I truly do not care. It felt so stupid. At that point, it felt truly dumb. It was a DNF. I'm selling it. I'm getting rid of it. Like, I don't think I can sell it because this was given to me by my librarian when I was in high school. She was just like, she just had a copy and just gave it to me. So it's been sitting on my shelf, but it's not good. Like, I do not, don't care. Never cared. Next, I read Fumbled Love by Marina Hill. It's a novella that takes place prior to any of the books in Marina Hill's series, like Roaming Holiday or Royal Pain. It's a classic love story between a jock and a nerd, but the fun flip, the nerd is the one that needs help in school, and the jock's the one that's going to help her. We follow Raven and Zephyr. Opposites attract, strangers to lovers. Classic stuff. We get some features from the characters from Royal Pain and Roaming Holiday, but it was very cute, very sweet, very fall vibes. I enjoyed myself. And lastly, reread Son of the Morning by Kweke Emezi. Now, this is my first ever Kweke Emezi book. I know. I own several. I just never sat down to read a Kweke Emezi because I wanted to do an entire video on their books, actually. But I was sent an arc of Son of the Morning by HarperCollins, and then they sent me another pretty copy. And then it was also an audio on Libro FM. So yes, I read it and I enjoyed myself thoroughly. We follow our main character, Galilee, that was raised on a land that's just women. No men are allowed to live on this land. She was raised by aunties, her mom. They are cut off from the rest of society. She's always been the odd one out of her entire family, always ostracized. So she took it upon herself to just leave. Leave, get out, move to the city, live her life. She has 2 friends and still carries these innate magical abilities inside her that the rest of her family has. But she hides it. She hides it away and lives a normal life in the city until one day, one of her rich friends is like, oh my gosh, my dad has all these different artifacts that he's harboring in our house to you guys want to come look and see. But all these artifacts are being guarded, and Galilee's friend has already been warned by the guards, by her father, hey, he doesn't want you touching this shit, we're not letting you in here. And Galilee uses a little bit of her magic to persuade them to let them in and go check out the artifacts. And wow, she fucks off with him, and by fucks off I mean quite literally, they get down. She doesn't realize that who she actually went to go fuck off with was Lucifer. The devil, him. That guy, yeah. And he is enamored with her. You ever watch the TV show Lucifer? Because even though I was raised religious, forced to go to church every Sunday with my mom, I'm not really well versed on angel religious-esque fantasy books. There's some that I've read. There's one that's very popular among you that deals with angels and demons and devils, but I've never really been that versed in angels, demons, and devils Bible-wise, Lucifer, Leviathan, all of his specific followers. There's never been something that's been well versed in me. So reading this, it was kind of a refresher course on all these different characters from the Bible. But Lucifer is absolutely taken by Galilee. He is the king of hell, and yet for some reason Galilee is the one thing that can undo him. She can hurt him. He's completely taken aback and enamored with her. And they hook up, and it's only after they hook up that Galilee realizes, I just fucked the devil. Oh shit. And one person that's not so happy about this is one of his princes of hell, Mr. Leviathan. Now, Leviathan and Lucifer is a very tumultuous relationship, you could say. Long story short, they used to be a thing. They're not a thing anymore. And now Lucifer has this new side piece, Galilee, that's just like what essentially they think is like this human, and they are very concerned with the pull that she has on him because of the fact that she could hurt him. She could kill him if she wanted to. At least she could try. So all the other princes of hell are telling Lucifer, like, hey, if you don't explain to us who the fuck she is and what the fuck's going on right now, we're gonna kill her. So you better get it straight. And it turns out, like, I don't want to spoil it, but she is kind of like his undoing in a way. And it's very mixed up how she came to be and the revenge plot that's going on Lucifer behind the scenes, making like the creation of Galilee and how she came into this fold. And she just so happened to cross paths with Lucifer, and they in question knew that he would be immensely taken with her. Like, this was a setup, to say the least. And guys, I don't want to spoil it. I want you all to read it. If, like, you have no qualms with religion being used in stories like this, I think you should read it, okay? We got a paranormal romance. We have a throuple, a triangle that turns into a throuple. Girl, go get the book. Akwaeke Emezi, you are amazing. Like, this is the first time I've ever been introduced to their writing. So good. Like, I get it now, guys. I get the hype. The hype is real. Akwaeke Emezi will always be famous. This was amazing. I'm gonna need to, because soon I'm gonna do a video about all the romantasy that I read. 2 mentions for sure will be Son of the Morning and Our Vicious Oaths by Annie Davenport. But no, this was so good, you guys. This is so good, okay? And now we can move on to December, which I read nothing. I didn't read anything. I read some stuff in December, but it's not necessarily... Like, I tried. You guys, the way I fully lied, like, I actually lied. I did read 70 books this year, okay? Because there's one that I DNF'd that I completely forgot to log in Storygraph. Okay, so I have a fairy loot edition of Spells of Forgetting by Adrienne Young. Whether this book was an adult fairy loot release or not, I cannot remember, but I do know I was wasting a lot of money on fairy loot books, so I canceled my adult subscription. But I had Spells of Forgetting by Adrienne Young. I listened to it on audio. Didn't really care for it. Long story short, we have a murder mystery that is somewhat magical. We follow a girl named Emery whose life was changed after her crush was framed for murder of her best friend Lily. Then August, the crush, moves away. Life's changed. Emery has a new boyfriend now, but now he's back to just lay the ashes of his mother, and they're gonna solve the mystery about what actually happened to her best friend Lily the night that she died, because several people do not believe August is a murderer, but the town has already written him off as a murderer and ran him out of town. Anyway, I didn't care for it. I truly didn't care. Listened to the whole thing on audio. Not the whole thing. I did stop after several chapters because it was taking a bit to get to the point. Obviously, yeah, I gave up. I gave up. But yeah, 70 reads actually. So just keeping myself honest. I will bring up the books that I will be bringing with me into 2026. So give me a second. Okay, so these are books that I have currently on pause right now. Just from a mental state, like I was just not in the mood to really read that much. But these are the books that I'm bringing with me into 2026. We have Shadowed Obsession by Evelyn Lee. This is this pre-cover that I just got, this fun edition. I do have another edition, that I also bought because I couldn't go see her at a book festival this year, so I have this copy of Elevator Pitch. It's so cute. And I also look at how pretty this is. This is so actually adorable. And then I also have this copy of Shadowed Obsession, where we follow our 2 main characters. She and her family have very shady business practices, and there is a rival business that is trying to take them down, so they hire our main guy Caesar to stalk her, look into the family, look into this new location that they're building up, and try to basically stop this business venture, this rival company. But Caesar becomes fully enamored with our main character, Deirdre, which, yeah, a bit unethical, he's a PI. I have a friend that's a PI. I don't know if my friend PI's ever gotten obsessed with the person they were looking into, I don't think that's ever happened. Obsessed to the point where, like, he's going into their house and, like, leaving them gifts and watering their plants. But Deirdre is texting back and forth with this man. And I've gotten halfway through the point where, like, they've made contact. She still has no idea what he looks like, but at least they made contact. But she knows he has cameras in her house. She knows he's been in the house. Like, she knows these things. She's fully aware. This is, like, my first ever, like, dark romance, which I'm also going to do a video about, like, dark romances that are out of my comfort zone. So we have that, but I'm enjoying myself a little bit so far, you know? I just need to get to the point where she sees his face. I truly do. And she gets over the whole I'm stalking you thing, you know, because very worried about that. But okay, next we have Royal Pain. We have Royal Pain by Marina Hill. We follow Maya and Tristan. Maya is an environmentalist. Tristan is a billionaire who now, after meeting Maya, wants to spend his billion saving the planet, because if my girl wants to save the planet, I'm going to save the planet. What are we talking about? So I can't wait to get into this. This is something that was supposed to start, like, recently, like November, December, and I just never got around to it. We have Even Odds, where we follow Cade and Shailene. Shailene is, like, a sports agent. Cade is a baseball player. They used to date. They don't date anymore. I'm halfway through this. I'm a little bit struggling with kind of the writing style, because I didn't love the first book because it was rivals to lovers, and I'm just not really into that whole banter of it. But following two black main characters, and it's a sports romance, and they seem, like, really cute. I just wish, like, it's giving very much a slow burn. I need us to speed it up a little bit. I am halfway through it, though. I am. Like, Cade randomly got up and left Shailene high and dry, and now it's kind of like she kind of has, like, abandonment issues a little bit. I don't know. She's also a woman working in sports. So there's a lot of misogyny that she also has to deal with, on top of the fact that her ex, she now has to represent him, and she's pissed off at him for leaving. Do you see what I mean? Okay. And I also have some arcs that I'll be taking with me into 2026. Okay. Here comes the fun part. This is the fun part. We have a book by my friend Mo, Love from the Cosmos, to be released in February. So our main character, Mo, or Moyo, she's Nigerian. I'm Nigerian. Mo's Nigerian. I love it. I love this. She joins a dating app called Cupid's Bow, where it's a dating app based off of astrology. But after having a bad time with the app, she goes on a rant blaming the planet responsible for her shitty love life, the planet of Saturn. No, it's not really Saturn. It's this man named Nee that works on the app as one of the matchmakers on the app. But, you know, he developed the app, and he's one of the people that are part of making the algorithm for the app. However, it didn't help Moyo in the slightest. So now they need to work together, essentially, to fix the app. He does some damage control, and now they have teamed up to try to fix the app and fix the algorithm to adhere to not only Moyo's taste, but to help other users also using this dating app, which almost kind of reminds me of Elevator Pitch, where we also have a girl using a dating app and the creator of said dating app. So I think I'm going to enjoy this a lot. Now, next we have The Art of Loving You by Natasha Bishop, that will be coming out in April, which this is the sequel to Only for the Week. We follow Danny and Micah, who I think I remember in Only for the Week, they very much hated each other. They very much hate each other. But now this is giving very much forced proximity, where they now have to go on a road trip together. Micah is an artist. Danny is an influencer. They used to date. They broke up. She hates his guts now. He just wants to win her back. This is the perfect opportunity. Tensions are high. I am so excited. And then lastly, I have this fantasy book called Aicha. I don't really know how to pronounce your name. I am so sorry, but this looks amazing. It says Temptress, Monster, and Warrior. Aicha is the story of Morocco's warrior goddess, her strange magic, fierce rebellion, and devastating romance. The Portuguese Empire has planted its flag across Morocco, ruling with an iron fist, but eventually all empires must fall. Aicha, the daughter of a Moroccan freedom fighter, was born for battle. She has witnessed the death of people, their starvation, and torture at the hands of the occupiers, and it has awakened an anger within her, an anger that burns hot and bright and that speaks to Aicha's soul. Only Aicha's secret lover, Rashid, A rebellion leader knows how to soothe her, but as the fight for Morocco's freedom reaches its violent climax, the creature that simmers beneath Aisha's skin begs to be released. It hungers for the screams of those who have caused her pain, and it will not be ignored. Okay, so we have a badass bitch about to do some badass bitch shit. And those are all the books that I will be trying to start 2026 with. I also have a lot of nonfiction books that I bought that I want to read. I have a plan. I'm going to post a video of my 2026 goals and plans later in the week. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, we got through all of my reads. Thank you for watching. People are calling my name again. Maybe I need to start filming at night. Should I give up my midnights to film a video? Should I? Because it's getting to a point. But yeah, thank you for watching. How was your year of reading? Was it better than mine? Was it worse than mine? Do you want to see the rest of mine? Then you can go check out the other quarterly videos that I made. Nobody watches them, so you can go check those out. Tell me your favorite books of 2025, what books you can't wait for in 2026, some of your anticipated reads. If you don't know what those anticipated reads are yet, I posted some on my Instagram. Later on, I will move that to my bindery page if you want to go check it. Might do some revamping of the bindery page too in the near future. Maybe some new projects down the line if I don't feel too seasonally depressed not to do them. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, commenting, whatever you did to need to do to interact with this video. And I will see you next time. Hopefully with my hair not looking like a mess. Bye!